Hey guys, it's Milo, and today I'm going to show you guys how to manage your cables for your PC setup. I recently moved, so I had to completely redo my cable management, and I'm just going to show you guys how to do this with a step-by-step guide. Also, this is one of my first videos with this format, so if you guys enjoy this video, then maybe comment down below because I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with my channel right now. I just showed you guys a montage of me doing the cable management, and now I'm going to talk about how to actually do it. I'm going to break it into a few different parts so you guys can understand fully what to do. So the first thing is deciding where you want to manage your cables. There's many different places you can route your cables, but in this video I'm going to show you how to route them under your desk. Using this method you can use J channels, you can use a rack, and that essentially just keeps your cables from dangling and looking terrible. So you guys know that you're going to be routing the cables under the desk, but you need the materials to do so. So you're going to need double-sided tape, cable straps, cable clips, J-channels, raceways, and all sorts of things. But I have this all listed down in the description below, and that is in my Amazon page. So you guys can check that out to get all the materials, and then I'll see you guys in the next step. We're finally on to the step where we're actually managing the cables. So what you want to do is just completely unplug all of the cables from your PC. They're probably going to be in a ball, and that's really hard to work with. So just put them in a spot away from your PC. So I just put all of my cables onto my bed, and you guys can just throw it on the floor or do something like that. Then I'm going to move my PC in a position where the back of it is not showing. This can be on the floor, on your desk. It can be screwed to the wall. I don't really care, but as long as the back of the PC isn't showing, then you're fine. Because you'll see all of the USB ports and everything in the back, and that just doesn't look very good. Now you're going to want to stick your surge protector to the bottom of your desk, and that's pretty much because you don't want the cables from your PC and monitor to be dangling everywhere. And the surge protector cable will pretty much be the only one that's dangling, and you can just make that stay to the wall using a raceway, a cable clip, or anything like that. And now you're going to want to figure out how to route these cables from the power strip to your PC and your monitor. And what I did is just used a J channel and just stuffed the cables inside of those, and that's what holds the cables up and keeps them from dangling. And I like to keep all of my cables in specific paths that are going to different places. So the cables going to the monitor are in one path that are connected together using Velcro strips, and then the cables going to the PC are pretty much the same thing. Some of your cables actually might not be long enough to reach your PC or your monitor or your mouse and keyboard or any of those kind of things, so you can use USB extenders and hubs, and also if your DisplayPort cable isn't long enough, then you might need to buy a new one, sadly. For instance, my DisplayPort cable was 6 feet and I needed a 10-foot one, so I did have to buy a new one on Amazon. My thought process is that as long as the cable is hidden, then it's managed, but that's not exactly the best method to go about it because there still might be some individual cables in between the racks and the PC that are dangling around. So you might want to get these adhesive clips that are meant for specific individual cables and that just keeps the cable to the desk so it doesn't dangle down. And ideally, most of your cables should be behind your monitor stand and then be routed around your desk to the bottom side. But when it's going from your stand to the desk, you can actually see the cables. So just to make sure that's neat and tidy, you can just put tons of straps around it and make it look less like a cable and just like a path. Kind of hard to explain that, but I'll show some B-roll, I guess. And then also there will be cables leading to the PC that might be visible. So you basically just want to tie all of those cables together to make them look like one big unit. And there are these sleeves and tubes that you can wrap around all of your cables so that they are hidden and they just look like a big spaghetti. But not all of your cables will be the same length, so some of them might be slightly off path with others. So that may not work depending on your situation. And especially if you're a content creator, then you will have way more cables. For me, I have lights, microphones, I have a webcam, and especially if you make music, you'll have all sorts of different accessories. So some cable management is definitely harder than others, so you might need to get a bit more creative depending on your situation. I did say that this guide is going to be pretty simple and easy, but cable management is pretty difficult, so this is the easiest that it gets. And you can do things like drilling holes in your desk to route cables, but that's pretty difficult, and I don't really recommend that unless if you're really hardcore and don't want to see any cables at all. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys today, but before I end the video, I would just like to recap. So you run the cables from your monitor to your PC using specific channels. You have your surge protector where you plug in your power supply from your monitor and your PC and all that stuff. And you use cable ties to tie each path together so it's clean and nice. And when you can't use the J channel and you have individual cables, you want to use cable clips. You use double-sided tape for things like power bricks and big things. And as long as the cables are hidden, they're pretty much managed. So thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if this video helped you out. And thank you guys. Goodbye.